And good evening.
Good evening.
And we'll see where we end up.
Yes.
About being live.
Hi.
Hello.
How are you?
Very well. How are you? Well, I shouldn't say very well.
Yeah, I mean, don't exaggerate here.
Good enough.
It says one viewer. Hi. Say hi to us so we know who you are. 2 people. It's a guten Tag.
Guten Tag.
Ja, ich bin hier is here.
Guten Tag, hop, hop.
Guten Tag, clap, clap. Have you seen this movie? Yeah, ich bin hier. Please tell me that you've seen this movie that we referenced just now.
Oh yeah, we did talk a few weeks ago that we should just be singing more musicals in Swedish.
Oh yeah. All right. So.
Do you want to do that instead of the book? Let's
sing some Swedish.
Wait, I need to.
Yesterday, not that it even matters. I was singing some, what's it called? Suddenly Seymour. I love Suddenly Seymour. I'm referring to the movie called The Producers. It's a guilty pleasure. This movie. It's a musical. It's got Nathan Lane and Matthew Broderick and Uma Thurman. Uma Thurman?
Yeah.
That's her name. The name sounded wrong. Good. And Will Ferrell. It's a star-studded cast.
What? So, do you want to sing something? Then what should I look for lyrics?
Suddenly Seymour.
I wonder if Wait, what's the name of the show?
Little Shop of Horrors.
Yes, I don't know if that one has ever been translated to Swedish.
I mean, we could probably go for any kids movie. How about Moulin Rouge? Was that translated into Swedish?
No.
I know it wouldn't. I was also singing Moulin Rouge. That was fun. This stream has a star-studded cast too. Where? Somebody coming that I don't know about?
I think it means you.
Oh. So before we started this, I was reading a book of a person that I'm going to be having a conversation with. And it's just so unreal. The life that this guy has read is so unreal. Like, it's so nuts that I'm having a conversation with a guy who was a former criminal. Just selling drugs and dealing with huge sums of money and living this decadent, bizarre, stressful life. So I'm having conversations with people who have had conversations with star-studded people. So
Little Shop of Horrors has been translated to Swedish, but I can't find any Swedish lyrics.
Well, yeah, ich bin hier. What's your favorite Disney movie? Let me know. Or anyone else that's watching. I see says that there's 2. So say hi, other person. 3! Say hi when you come so that when you arrive here in this chat, so that we can give hugs and hang out and get ready to learn some Swedish that's going to have so much relevancy in your life. We have the board ready and everything. So let's go with Little Mermaid until Ja, ich bin hier responds.
Oh. Well, okay. Well, there.
He doesn't need the board or the phone. Lion King.
No, you said Little Mermaid.
Oh, okay.
Du tror att i grannens vatten är sjögräset alltid grönt. Du drömmer att simma upp dit. Det är inte mödan lönt. Nej, se dig omkring i viken. Här finns ingen ytlighet. Du kan inte bli besviken. Det framgår med tydlighet. Och nej, havet är djupt.
Havet är djupt.
Havet är djupt.
Havet är djupt.
Nere på botten, här är det toppen. Lyssna och njut. Uppe på land finns bara spring, möda och slit för ingenting. Men under ytan, här kan man flyta. Havet är djupt.
Well, let's write down something that you sang.
Well, what? Okay.
Disney really does do a good job translating their stuff. I was really enjoying listening to Let It Go in a bunch of different languages. And since I used to speak French, I still sort of kind of speak German, and I sort of kind of speak Swedish. And there's so many languages similar to those. It was really fun hearing the different translations.
Yeah.
All right. So give me a line that you sang just now.
Do we just go from the top?
Sure.
Du tror att i grannens vatten.
This is way too complicated.
The bare... Oh wait, no, this is bare necessities.
The bare necessities. Look it up.
Oh no, wait. I just want to see how much I know of it by heart. Var nöjd med allt som livet ger och allting som du kring dig ser. Glöm bort bekymmer, sorger och besvär. Var glad och nöjd, för vet du vad? En björntjänst gör ju ingen glad. Var nöjd med livet som vi lever här.
So, what should we write down from this? I'm feeling so useless with this.
Yeah, we're not doing...
I mean, it's not like anybody shows up here actually caring to learn Swedish, so let's just
sing and have fun.
Stuff. But he said Beauty and the Beast.
Beauty and the Beast. Those...
Pull up some Beauty and the Beast lyrics for me.
Okay.
Like, there's something strange and almost kind, but he was mean and he was coarse and unrefined, and now he's dear and so unsure. I wonder why I didn't see it there before. New and a bit alarming. So I think that I've here is applauding the decision to just throw away the board.
Yeah. If anyone complains, then if anyone's like we want you to go back to doing the proper Swedish teaching, then we will do that again.
Yeah, but I don't think anyone's actually asking for that.
Yeah.
Oh well, the fun thing is hanging out, right?
Rörda av en ton I en melodi.
This isn't even the song that I asked for.
I know. This was the one that I found.
You see what I have to work with?
Let's see what I can find here.
Wait, that wasn't very good improv of me. I was supposed to be like yes and, not just cutting you off.
Wait, I don't think they...
Okay, we'll go back to the song that you managed to find. Oh.
I'm trying to find what is the...
I have some sewing projects. Oh, yeah, I've been here said, no, I was applauding the bare necessities performance, not throwing away the board. So what you're saying is you do want to learn?
Okay.
Let's just go with Let It Go then. We know we can find that one.
Wait.
I decided to start sewing a little bit because I'm actually going to trade a friend some pictures. She's a photographer. I did a conversation with her, Lily Schwartz, and that was probably the best. Hey, the Stuppert.
Greetings. Okay, wait. These are the Beauty and the Beast songs that I can find right now.
Okay. I've been here has spoken.
Oh.
He said, How am I supposed to learn Swedish by casual osmosis if you throw the board away? I like the way you think.
Yeah, that's annoying that I can't find it. Okay, let's do.
Your Google skills are pathetic. Pathetic. Oh, there's going to be an extra live stream next week because I'm going to have
Support.
the very first ever David Hoffman fan club community live stream after David's live stream.
Wait, actually,
Stupper, you're in the David Hoffman community, right?
We should do this.
All right, here we go. What is this? Oh yeah. Hela livet har jag... Hela livet har varit en till sluten dörr. Och nu plötsligt så möter jag dig.
Jag tänkte precis samma sak. För jag känner mig som hemma som jag varit här förr. Eller kan det vara chokladen som förtrollat mig?
För med dig.
Här hos dig, här vill jag vara.
So this is hard.
Yeah, never mind.
Never mind.
We don't know the song well enough.
We nailed it. Let's write down something for it so that we can keep our friend happy.
What is the Swedish word for door?
Dörr.
Yes. And how do you spell it?
D-O-R.
No. That's
to die.
Yeah, that is dies.
Okay, so this is die. This is a very good word to pick up through casual osmosis.
Jag dör. I'm dying.
Okay, what's door?
Double R.
Oh, but no dots?
Yeah, no, you're completely
Wow,
right.
so you have to be careful with this language. You can either say die or door. What about the word dye, as in like to dye fabric or hair or something?
That is nowhere close to that. That is like
Faria or something?
Yeah, faria, färglägga.
Okay.
Yeah.
The Stuppard says, yes, a double dose of the Hoffman community is a must-see. Yes, I couldn't agree more. It's going to be so cool to be able to chat and just like talk about the videos of his that have really impacted us or whatever we want to talk about from after the live stream. Because the last live stream of David's was just so beautiful. I mean, we're only going into our third one, but so cool. Such neat people.
So,
okay, here we go. Okay. Snön har lagt sitt täcke över berg och glaciär. Den gnistrar i sin enslighet. Ingen själv passerar här. Den storm som vinner inuti mig text har vänt. Ett isolerat land och jag är dess regent. Regent. Ingen får sig djupt inom mig. Låt dem inte få genomskåda dig. Visa ingenting vad du än gör. Allt är förstört. Slå dig loss, slå dig fri. Den tiden den är förbi. Slå dig loss, slå dig fri. Vänd dig om dig får bli din sorti. Okay, I went too high there. Och aldrig mer ska någon säga nej. Släpp den storm du bär. Liten snö har väl aldrig stört mig. Nailed it. Okay.
So there's that word that Katie didn't know. Regent.
I would have figured that out. I didn't know how to pronounce it, but I could see the connection between regent and regent.
Yes. Ruler or monarch.
So fun to sing. Wait, what was another thing that I thought would be good to write down from here? Visa ingenting vad du än gör, allt är förstört. I love that rhyme there.
Yeah, and vad du än gör is a good phrase actually.
So the translation of this thing here, no one will see deep inside of me. What is genomskåda?
Is to see through.
Oh, let them not see through see through me. Don't show anything. Whatever you do, everything is destroyed.
Yes. Så vad du än gör, whatever you do. That's probably the most useful phrase in that song.
Slå dig loss. What does that mean? Throw it, like untie it, kind of like lös.
Slå dig loss is like fight yourself free. Fight yourself loose. Fight yourself free.
Slå. So
att slå is like literally to hit.
Mm-hmm. So fight your way out. Yeah.
Yeah. Slå dig loss. Slå dig.
Den tiden den är förbi. The time that is gone.
That time it is past.
Oh, that time it is past.
Or gone.
Den tiden den. Is this a case of it's not good grammar because it just is fitting the poetry?
Tiden den är
Den tiden den är förbi.
No, it works.
Vänd dig om det får bli din sorti.
Yeah.
Vänd dig om det får bli din sorti. This is a confusing sentence.
Sortie is like an old word for like exit, but it's like mostly used in like theater. It's like sortie is like your exit line sort of thing.
Turn yourself. Wait, don't tell me. Turn yourself and it can be your exit.
Yeah, or turn around. Yeah.
It can be like the turnaround of your life.
Or just like, turn around and walk out is basically.
Mm-hmm.
But yes, vänd dig om, turn around. That's a good phrase too.
And never more shall anyone say no. Let the storm do bad. That's the storm you're carrying.
Yes.
Let the storm you're carrying. Let go of the storm.
Release
the storm you're carrying. Ooh, that's so much more poetic than the English version.
Yeah.
I love Swedish. Let the storm that you're carrying. Let go of the storm you're carrying. A little snow has never bothered me. Let's skip down to the big part.
You want a belt?
I want a belt. Where is it?
I don't have one. I'm wearing sweats.
Min kraften flödar genom luft och genom mark. Min själ den spirar, kraften väller upp och gör mig stark. Min tänkta kristalliser
Yeah. The rhythm is different.
This is hard.
So it's actually min tanke kristalliserar.
Min tankar kristalliserar fantasi till livs. Jag lämnar allt som var, förkastar direktiv.
That line too is just sort of clunky. Förkastar direktiv is like discards directions. It's like but yeah, there isn't a better like translation that fits the rhythm, but it's just like it's such a clunky phrasing.
So my craft, what is right flödar?
That's flöda. Can you guess what that means?
Floats?
Well, flow.
So my power flows through the air and through, what is mark?
The ground.
Hello, Design Stina Marshmallow. Thank you. It's so much fun to sing. Min själ den spirar. My soul is spiraling. My power väller upp och gör mig stark. What is right väller upp?
Att välla upp.
Välla upp. Because I don't quite get that.
Can't you say in English? I feel like I've heard the
welling
phrase.
Up.
Yes, to well up.
Oh, welling. Vella, welling. That's so cool. My power. Where did it go? Where did it go? Oh, my power wells up and makes me strong. My thoughts crystallize, crystallizes fantasy into ice.
Yes.
Oh, that's so poetic. Oh, bubbling up. That also could work. Yeah. It feels so much more poetic and beautiful in Swedish.
Wait, but how is that line in English? One thought
Crystallizes
crystallizes.
like an icy blast.
Yeah.
I'm never going back. The past is in the past.
But just that line is just so clunky in Swedish.
Förkastardirektiv. Oh, this is different. Bana väg. What does bana väg mean?
Like clear the way.
Will you write it?
Well, that one is that's another not very common phrase.
Oh, it's not common. Oh well.
Yeah.
Slå dig loss, slå dig fri. Bana väg, låt ske det som sker. Slå dig loss, slå dig fri. Hon som fanns här finns inte mer. Och här står jag, en förändrad själ. Släpp den storm du bär. Snö har väl aldrig stört mig. What is låt ske det som sker?
Let whatever happens happen.
Is that
Att ske is to happen.
Is that like que sera sera in Swedish?
Sort of thing, yeah.
Låt ske det som sker. That's a tongue twister.
Yeah, that's also like it's a bit of an awkward phrasing for that. I don't know how I would phrase it exactly. But
oh, I know what song I want to do.
Oh?
All at once everything is different. I actually was doing this on TikTok for a while there, but then I don't want to do stuff every day.
Okay, yeah, let's see if we have that
so
one.
I know that one is there because I was playing with it. Just don't have the energy to do all the social medias. Yeah, ich bin here. You don't do any social medias, really, huh? What social medias do you do? Designs Dina Marshmallow? And Stuppert? Yes, I would love to know more about you, the Stuppert. What do you like to do on the internets? What do you like to listen to music? What kind of stuff do you like to do? Tell me, everybody. No. Okay. Jag har sett världen från mitt fönster. I'm messing it up when I'm reading it.
You're cold reading.
I am cold reading. Jag har sett världen från mitt fönster. Många år sökte jag ett svar. Lång tid utan att jag visste. Tänk så blind jag var. Här och nu, bländad av ett stjärnljus. Här och nu börjar jag förstå. Min plats är att vara här. Det måste vara så. Jag ser allt så ljust och klart. Känner världen bli en annan. I went way too high.
Yeah, I was thinking that too. I was like, wait, am I going to be able to sing this key?
How much in the stratosphere can I go?
I'm like, I'm going to have to drop this 2 octaves.
Where was I?
There.
Where?
Det känns varmt.
Det känns varmt och underbart. Som om tid och rum vill stanna. Allt är nytt, allt är helt förändrat. Nu när jag ser dig.
Jag har sökt guld och gröna skogar. Många år gick jag som i trans. Lång tid utan att jag visste var min lycka fanns. Här är hon, vacker i ett stjärnljus. Här är hon, allt som jag vill få. Min plats är precis just här. Det var hit jag skulle gå. Jag ser allt så ljust och klart. Känner världen bli en annan. Jag ser allt så ljust och klart. Himlen öppnar sig för mig. Det känns varmt och underbart. Som om tid och rum vill stanna. Allt är nytt, allt är helt förändrat. Nu när jag ser dig. Nu när jag ser dig.
Josh Ben here says, I mainly show up on YouTube, Discord. I've never heard of Hello Talk and Twitch these days. I try to be places that make sense to me, whether they're common or popular or not.
Cool.
Tell me more about Hello Talk. Not that I'm searching for another place to spend time. I'm just curious.
Yes.
Yes. And this design Stina has an Instagram and soon a YouTube channel. Need to finish my vids first. I haven't made a deal about it, but I actually have a channel for YouTubers for encouragement and stuff. I will put the link. I will just put the link down there for you because I really want to support fellow YouTubers. And I had what the heck? Why did this video show up? I don't understand.
I think I might have that one is part of a they put together this weird choose your own adventure YouTube thing, a bunch of people, and so I think I might have I bookmarked this one to keep track of where I was in the story, so I could find it.
Okay.
But I don't know why you clicked on the bookmark.
Oh, that's what happened.
You were looking at bookmarks and you were like, oh, there's a YouTube bookmark.
I didn't look at it. I just accidentally clicked it.
Yeah.
Okay, where did Livestream go? There.
Yes.
So if you want to check that out, Design Stina Marshmallow. Hello Talk is the language exchange app I used to talk with native German speakers. Cool. When are you going to do another all German video? Your pronunciation is really good. That's really cool that you have all these years you just keep doing that. Pushing and pushing to get good at German. But yes, that's my link for my new channel. It's called YouTubing with Katie. Yes. Okej.
Visst, det kan inte vara lätt att möta någon så makalös som jag. Du vet inte ens hur det känns, det är rörande. Men jag vet precis hur människor brukar vara. Du känner dig paff, helt okej. Ja, det är klart, det är Maui. Vilken grej. Mitt hår och min kropp har skön fason. Du vet, en halvgud som är helt kanon. Så jag får väl säga håll till godo. Med hav och land och skog. Det är okej, helt okej, håll till godo. Ni fick ju så att hälften vore nog.
Skip to the rap.
Okay.
Everybody wants to hear Morten rap in Swedish, right?
I've never done the rap in Swedish before, so we'll see here.
Cold rap reading.
Så att du vet. Typ. Alltså, jag är ju rätt skön ändå. Allt i naturen har jag värsta kollen på. Jag hav och sten och äng. Fixade Maui i flygande fläng. Drevte en ål och den i en grav. Sen var det den ni fick palmerna av. Så min vän, vad lär du av denna sång? Ingen ska mucka när Maui har gått igång. Och de bilder du ser på min kropp dyker upp när jag varit på topp. Allt jag har gjort är för mycket att greppa. Kolla hur min lilla Maui kan steppa i steppa. Ha, 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 häng!
Nailed it!
Så är det med det, bara håll till godo. Med den värld jag fick till så bra. Att bländas av mig är okej, håll till godo. Men hör du, vet du vad? Jag måste dra. Okay, actually, I really like that line.
Okay.
Att bländas av mig är okej, håll till godo. As in, to be blinded by me is okay.
Okay, let's write that down.
Att bländas is, to be blinded, like temporarily blinded by light.
A?
Well, att bli, so that's an I. And then and a new word, BL, A dots. ND.
ES?
No, AD.
Oh.
No, BL, no, A dots, ND. And then AD.
Okay.
Att bli bländad.
Att bli bländad.
So that's like to be blinded by, specifically by like getting light in your eyes. Not like actually blind, but temporarily blinded by something.
Yeah. What was that? Oh, you used to do that other Swedish rap.
Sarah.
Hey, Sarah. You used to do that Swedish rap all the time.
Which one?
The Leon.
Oh yeah, like that was like a Christian rap group that I like heard when I was when I was a teenager, and I had the one CD they made, and then like the band hasn't existed for decades now, probably. Oh no, over a decade at least. And I've lost the CD, so I can't listen to it anymore because they, their music is nowhere online as far as I know.
Let's write the whole sentence. Att bli bländad av mig är okay?
Yes.
So, did you recognize the song Morten was doing? It was Maui.
You're welcome.
How do you go, Dad? What was that? Your welcome word?
Håll till godo, which is not something you usually say, but this is again like it was double L in both of those words. GODO. Which does mean you're welcome, but it's sort of an older sort of phrasing. You don't hear it a lot, but it was the best thing that they could find to fit the rhythm again.
Yeah, because varsågod just wouldn't fit that rhythm.
Yeah.
Varsågod. Varsågod.
So
actually, it kind of does.
Yeah. Varsågod. But
varsågod.
No. Yeah, like the because the emphasis would end up on the wrong syllable all the time.
Oh, so you have to worry about emphasis.
Varsågod. Yeah, that doesn't. Varsågod.
Varsågod.
Yeah.
Varsågod.
Yeah.
It's very clunky.
Yes. So that's...
Okay. Att bli bländad av mig är okej, håll till godo. Att bli bländad av mig är okej. I think everyone should learn this.
To be blinded by me is okay.
That's so unswedish. I almost said Swedish.
Osvenskt.
Det är så osvenskt att tänka så.
I should learn some proper Swedish rap. Like there is a lot of good Swedish rap.
Yeah, we should also have Swedish days again.
Yes.
Where you speak Swedish to me.
We should just listen to Swedish music.
Yeah, which mean, but oh, I wanted to say something about my Swedish channel. It's really a huge thing. Is thanks to I've been here. You challenged me about one of my videos, and I made it a lot better. Like, I made it. It was the video about thumbnails, and the constructive feedback that you gave me, like, really helped. Oh. He asked for me to put it back up again. Att bli bländad av mig är okay. Swedes just want to be silly and spell okay wrong, but we know that it's okay, AY. Att bli bländad av mig är okay. Håll till godo. I never heard håll till godo, so that must be like ancient.
Yeah, it really isn't.
So yeah. This is our transition time.
Yes.
So we were having a very important and necessary conversation yesterday about the differences between dorks, nerds, and geeks.
Yeah, which is actually something that I once like I literally wrote an entire essay about this back in high school. It was my final English essay in high school was about geeks and nerds. It was.
Have your opinions changed on those things since then?
No, but some of the things that I referenced in there is,
no longer relevant.
Yeah, no longer relevant. But it was, it was a strictly like informative, meant to be an informative thing of like this is the history of the term geek, like and this is how it has changed.
Oh yeah, like the whole
history. Yeah.
Like the whole pencil neck geek origins.
Yep.
Was like a pro wrestler?
It was a pro wrestler's attempt to make it in the music industry. Like I don't know, like he had some success with that. But yeah, it was like something like.
But that word didn't even exist until he used it, right?
No, the word existed, but it was. I mean, but a geek was previously just a sideshow performer.
Oh right.
Like geeks and freaks. That's
like bearded ladies and strong men and just any of those things.
Yeah.
People with like webbed fingers and.
Yeah, things like that, and so those
how
were
people
the
were
geeks.
Treated, man.
Yeah, but then but then it became just a sort of anyone who didn't like. So it was like people who didn't fit in, and then it sort of shifted in meaning to mean like to mean first like anyone who was
socially incompetent
or just didn't fit into the mainstream social circles, because that's the thing, like the idea that geeks can be very social when they are around people who share their interests. Like you've been to a convention?
Yeah, I've been to a few.
Yeah, people are very social at conventions. But yeah. But
like, and to what our definitions of these words, a dork is like a person who's not very good in social situations. But a geek is someone who is passionate about something.
Yes.
They have their special subject that they are invested in, or subjects.
And I feel too that like, but I feel also that a geek still, it has to sort of be some sort of a special interest. Like, I feel like you can be a nerd about mainstream interests, but you can't be a geek about. But geeks, it has to be something that is sort of, well, of course, now superheroes and fantasy have become mainstream interests, so that sort of ruined the definition or changed the definition.
But in my brain, nerds have to do with smartness.
Yeah, but well, now that's a whole other thing of knowledge and like that knowledge and intelligence are not the same thing.
Indeed.
And I feel like to be a nerd you have to be knowledgeable. You don't necessarily have to be intelligent.
Yeah.
And
can you give an explanation or what's the word I'm looking for?
Like the difference between being intelligent and knowledgeable?
Yes.
And then of course being wise as well. They're all like very different. Yeah, like in Swedish, pretty much like we have nerd. We spell with the o umlaut, the ö, nerd. But that's the only one. So like in Swedish, that one sort of covers all of it. We don't really have the distinction between nerds and geeks in Swedish. But yeah, because someone asked if the Swedish does have different words for them, or if they just borrow the English words. Yeah. But what was I thinking?
Like a person can be really good at teaching math, but not good at telling that someone's upset. Maybe I should not be trying to teach
and
math
that's the thing
right
too.
now.
Like intelligence. Like there are so many. Like what is it? There's over a dozen different kinds of intelligence, which makes me so annoyed. Like I have a high IQ. Like I'm aware of that. But I also know that IQ only tests for like
Potential.
4 or 5. Well, but also only tests for like 4 or 5 different kinds of intelligence, which is less than half of the kinds of intelligence that exist. So I know that my emotional intelligence is not that great for the most part, and things like that. And so, but that's a lot harder to test, and so no one bothers doing it. And it's just like.
But it must be really, really hard to be smart. To know that you're smart in Sweden, where it's just like you're not supposed to be special, you're not supposed to stick out.
Yeah, but I'm not too worried about that. Like, because I feel like I am still grounded enough to know that, like, yes, I'm good at remembering information and taking tests, and I am pretty good at problem solving too. And but that's such a small part of the skills needed to be successful in the world. So I'm like, I don't think that makes me better than anyone else. I'm like, why would it? It's like, that's.
Yeah. So, but back to the nerds and geeks thing. I feel very strongly about this, that like, to be nerd, like people can be nerdy about Apple, for example, like, wow, all these things that it can do. But geekiness is like, to be passionate in that sense is like, it's not really important in the scheme of things, like Lord of the Rings, Marvel Universe.
Yeah, yeah, that's the thing. As I said, yeah, nerdiness can be any special interest you have, but geekiness is about one of those like some it has like it's all about like really about subculture and such, and like geekiness sort of requires a community.
So a person can be a nerd all by themselves.
Yes,
they can just sit and code in their room and whatever.
Because
that's true. It totally needs community.
Yeah. Because
good point.
Yeah, and it's specifically like, and like sort of the hardcore geeks, like the old school geeks, then it's specifically about a counterculture community. It's like, it's the whole thing that geekiness was traditionally not in the mainstream. It's about finding having an interest that most people do not share, and finding a community which shares it. That is where geeks thrive.
Which reminds me, I really, really hope that I can get a conversation with that person you put me in contact with. There's a pastor who plays Dungeons and Dragons and was playing it back in the 80s during the Satanic Panic.
Yep.
When everyone was like, that's the devil.
Yeah, the geek preacher. Yeah, he's on TikTok and stuff. So anyone who's on TikTok, check out the geek preacher, because he's got some good stuff.
I'm really interested to hear more people talk about their perception of those times.
Yeah.
Morton, were you ever called a nerd?
I called myself a nerd.
You put it on your graduation cap.
I did. Yes. Okay.
Because in Sweden, they have really cool graduations where they get this nifty hat. It looks like a captain hat.
And the thing was, you could put 4 letters on the back of it. And wait, I can't remember if mine says nerd or geek.
Or both?
No, it says one of them. But the thing was,
I think yours says geek.
Yes. Because I think a friend of mine was like, oh, you can put 4 letters on it? Like, you should put geek on yours. And I was like, yeah. If you put nerd on yours. He was like, okay. And I was like, okay. And then we did.
Yes. So, let's talk about who's the bigger geek. So, how were you spending your time? What were you spending your time geeking out with when you were in the before times of me and Covenant players and all that jazz?
Pokemon was my gateway drug. It was. I mean, it really was. Like I got deep into Pokemon. Like I watched like every single episode of like the original like 2 seasons, the first and possibly second season of Pokemon twice, because I would watch it, every Saturday morning when it aired, and then also my best friend would. She would also watch it, and she would record it every week. And so then at some point during the week, I would go over to her house, and then we would watch it again together.
And you could name all the 100, whatever.
All the first 151. I had a poster. That poster still hangs in my parents' house, I think.
Yeah.
With all the first 151, and like, I cannot name them all in order. I can't name them all cold. But I'm pretty sure you pull up a picture of any of the original 151 Pokemon, and I could still tell you the name like immediately by sight.
Yes. That's not hard to imagine.
But then the thing was, I picked up some Pokemon cards, but like so many 12-year-olds back in when would this have been? If I was 12, so like 2001-ish. I think it was when Pokemon came to Sweden, 2001. Like so many kids back then, got some Pokemon cards. I had no clue how to play, and so it was just because they were cool. There were Pokemon on them, but then from there, like I got introduced to Magic the Gathering, and started playing and actually learned how to play that.
And there was a time when I've been like, oh no, I wouldn't talk about that on my YouTube channel because what if my family finds out? But I've put up enough stuff on this channel lately that they would be upset about, so what the heck?
yeah, like you.
This is another nail in the coffin.
Yeah, it's like, yeah, what's...
Oh, but we should go back and forth about our geek things.
Yes, yeah. So what are your...
I mean, I love Pokemon too, and one of my friends in school lent me the Silver Edition game. I was obsessed, man. I was playing it all the time. When I finished the game, I would just like mate everything with Dittos to see if anything interesting would go, and I'd just like ride the bike back and forth to hatch eggs. Like, I even made friends with this girl. This was in high school, by the way. I was like 15 years old. I made friends with this girl because she also liked it, and we arranged a sleepover just so that we could trade Pokemon.
Yeah.
And she gave me a Mewtwo and all this cool stuff.
Did you ever try to do a duplication glitch?
I did try to do a duplication glitch, and I lost Lugia. I thought I could get more Master Balls.
Alas.
Alas.
Yes,
Other geeky things, my friend Chappelle and I watched like all of the Lord of the Rings like 3 or 4 times, each movie individually. We went to lots of midnight premieres back when that was still a thing. And one time when we were like waiting in line to watch Spider-Man 2, I had a mini DVD player, and I went to a Radio Shack and bought some speakers because people were so loud. So we were watching the first Spider-Man with the speakers held up to our ears while waiting in line. What?
I suppose you at that time was not aware of the existence of headphone splitters?
No. It seemed like a good idea at the time, okay?
Oh yeah, like I forgot also before all this and through all this, comic books, although I was more into the actual like the funnies comics. Like I did read some superhero comics, but not nearly as much. And I feel like, I feel like funny like the humor comics don't count as much, are not as geeky as the story comics.
Mm.
Well, I did read some story comics too, so that was a thing too. And then, this I also started reading fantasy. So much fantasy. I joined the fantasy book club. Let's see, did any of those books make it in here?
No, they're pretty much all out in your office.
Yeah. But we do have some. We do have some Terry Pratchett here.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Okay. So here is geekiness galore. In this one I did not get from the book club. I picked this one up in a secondhand shop. But this is I've read a lot of David and Lee Eddings. They wrote a bunch of cool fantasy books, and they published like their notes, their background notes, with just like weird little story details of things that wasn't that was just for them to keep track of, like to make the world that they were putting their fantasy stories in feel real as they were writing them. And then they eventually got published anyway, but that was a bit like, and I was like, oh yes, I want that. Because this is one of my favorite parts of this. It's a poem written in the shape of a snake, so it just like goes back and forth across the page because it's the snake. It's a poem in honor of the snake goddess in this fantasy world. And also magic card for a bookmark. Just to really drive the point home here.
I really, really loved these books called Animorphs growing up.
I never did Animorphs. I did so much sci-fi and fantasy, but I never did Animorphs.
And I bought them with my own money. I remember that they cost $3.50 each. And at the Scholastic Book Fair stuff. And I had to throw them away because my dad thought they were evil, blah, blah, blah. I want those books. Like, we need to find them. I want to get them. I want to read them. Like, there's good stories. It's just so sad. And, on that same vein, I grew up hearing that Harry Potter's evil. So I actually didn't think I would ever read those books. But then when I was in Covenant Players, I saw a bunch of other people who I knew were good, strong Christians who enjoyed them and discerned that it was a story that could be enjoyed. And
that, like, has some really good positive messages in it.
So when I was in Germany, I read them, like, very quickly. I would borrow them from hosts and just gobbled them up and made my own decisions about them. Yeah.
I actually recently saw like a TikTok from the geek preacher who we were talking about, and he talked about that he would how that struggle was because he had been taught that fantasy was shouldn't be part of the Christian life, and that was and he was and he listened and he put away all of his fantasy stuff and stopped playing the games and things like that. But then he went to Christian college, and they showed him, and he had been, they showed him the theology writings of C.S. Lewis, which he fell in love with and talked a lot about and wrote essays about. But then he found out that the C.S. Lewis who wrote who wrote Mere Christianity and all that was the same C.S. Lewis who wrote Narnia. And it's like, but so then someone who wrote fantasy is a Christian I'm supposed to emulate, but you're telling me that fantasy is always evil? And that was the beginning of his sort of deconstruction from conservative fundamentalism.
Yeah.
So that's a big thing. And of course, I did read the Narnia books as a kid.
I loved Chronicles of Narnia. Such a deep place in my heart, man.
Yeah.
The Last Battle, I remember reading that for the first time, just not even able to sit in my chair, like sitting on the chair on my feet, yelling at the dwarves and crying. It's probably like snot running down my face, like.
Yeah, I can see that.
Ah, that was loud.
'Twas.
Yakmania said, a poem written in the shape of a snake is creative. Oh, but did you read this other thing you wrote? I have never been into any of these things, but I've had friends talk about them around me, so this is entertaining and familiar to me, despite me not really knowing the depth of any of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then in high school, I got deeper into sci-fi as well. I especially like it was especially because like there would be my parents lived so far out in the countryside, so I had my own place that I was living in high school, and was like would only come home on the weekends, and like around the time I came home from school every day, to an empty apartment most of the time. I had a roommate, but most of the time I would come home, be by myself, and it would be right around the time that reruns of Star Trek: The Next Generation and or Stargate SG-1 would start, and so I would watch those pretty much daily, but like just randomly and out of order because I didn't watch every day, and I don't even know if they showed them all in correct order or stuff, or like there might be like 2 reruns each day and I only caught one, so I like saw every other episode sometimes, things like that. But I really enjoyed the shows anyway.
I'm so glad that we're watching Star Trek. It's so much fun. I love this show.
We just finished season 1 of The Next Generation.
I had no idea. I thought it was going to be okay, but I didn't think it was going to be great.
Yeah, neither did Patrick Stewart.
Yeah.
Like he took the job because he figured, it's a job and it'll probably run for like a season, maybe 2, and then I can go on and do better stuff. And then they got 7 seasons.
So Yakmania said the Narnia books were ones I read when I was in grade school. Did they have an impact on your life too? Oh man, they did not do the movies. The movies did not do it justice.
Yeah.
The first one was okay. The next one, awful. Didn't even bother with the third one. So angry.
Yeah.
Remember my Uncle Clyde when we went to see the second Hobbit movie?
Oh.
That was not fun.
Oh, he was so upset. Like, now, I understand that different media requires different types of stories, but a lot of the things they did to the Hobbit were just inexcusable.
Yeah. We never even bothered seeing the third one.
Yeah.
Yakman here said, for some things fantasy related, I understand why children aren't allowed to read them, because they sometimes use terms that are problematic in other contexts, like magic. And kids aren't always as aware how to differentiate like adults do when seeing the terms in other places.
But I feel like as
the
an
parents
adult,
should have talks with kids about that.
We can explain things like that to our 4-year-olds, and they're like, because there are a lot of their cartoons they watch that have there are superheroes and there's magic and there's this, that, and the other, and then we just say, but that stuff is not but you do know that's not how it is for real, and that's and so it's just a matter of I feel like really the problem is parents not participating in their children's experiences. That is when it becomes a problem. It is when parents just push their kids out into experiencing things, without really without caring what is there. That's when it can be problematic.
But that's not really all that relevant. Like, there's way more people that are quenching kids' imaginations and being too up their kids' bottoms.
Well, yeah. But that is again because it's the parents not engaging with their children's interests. So they don't bother actually understanding what those things are that their kids might be interested in,
and then just demonize everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
And that's just.
If fantasy's good enough for C.S. Lewis, it's good enough for us.
Yeah, and Tolkien.
Yes. It's not easy when you're.
Elvis, or do you know? Everyone talks about the whole thing of like how Tolkien, basically wrote the books to justify all of the languages that he'd made up, but that's not the entire story. Because do you know why he wrote why The Hobbit became a book? Because it started as just a bedtime story he was telling his kids.
Oh yeah.
But then his son, who was 5 at the time, would be like, "Hold on. Last time you told us this part, you said that Bilbo's door was blue, but tonight you said it was green." And and finally Tolkien was like, "Ugh, if this kid is gonna keep remembering everything I said and point out every time I change something in the story, I'm just gonna have to write this down so I say the same thing each time." And that's literally why The Hobbit was written, and not just a verbal bedtime story that was told to his kids and then forgotten forever.
Whoa. Just think that the world might not have had that.
So thank you, Christopher Tolkien, for being an annoying 5-year-old. Like, I saw an article that talked about this, where they were like, even though Tolkien literally had the excuse, a wizard did it right there.
Yeah. Or, yeah, ich bin hier some. He painted the door.
Yeah.
You could have said that. Anyone else hearing the Shire music going through their heads right now? Oh man, that ending of Return of the King, all those endings and all the tears. Oh man, we'd have to be so strategic about not drinking anything a few hours before so that we wouldn't have to leave. And I mean, even though we'd watched each movie 3-4 times, we still didn't want to have to go to the bathroom and miss anything.
Yeah.
We would run to the dollar store and stuff our purses and pockets with candy and munch on candy through the movies. Ah, the good old days.
Yes.
That is cool. Tolkien wrote all those stories. Very cool, very cool. Wow. Yeah. Well, this has been fun.
Yeah. Yeah, talking about being geeks is just the whole thing. Yeah, we were singing Disney songs, and then we were just like, and then you just you just give me a topic like this, and I can just talk on forever about any and all of these things.
Like the beautiful geek that you are.
Yes, like the whole thing. Yes, someone wants to hear me talk about my weird special interests. Yes, please.
Well, I think that we shall go. Thanks so much for being here.
We didn't even get started on board games and role-playing games.
Oh, man. Thanks for being our friend and hanging out with us. Yeah, ich bin hier. Sometimes I just wish I could call you by your real name, but don't worry. I'll just keep saying your mouthful of German.
I think he's the only one still here.
Yeah, that's why I said thank you for hanging out with
Yes.
us. Really appreciate it. And for anybody who watches this later on, please leave a comment and tell us what you are fascinated by.
Yeah, what is your geekiness?
Yes. There will be more live streams.
Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Special edition live stream on this Sunday or next
Saturday.
Saturday.
22nd is Saturday, right? Will you check that real quick?
Saturday,
Yeah,
yes.
Saturday at 8, I can't remember.
Right
Right after David Hoffman's live stream on his community. Because I'm a member of the David Hoffman community. You should join.
Yes. Indeed.
There's many perks when you join the community over there.
Okay. Well, good night.
Good night. Hugs.
Nostrils of death.